Hello, my pool playing friends. What is going on? Hope this video finds you well. This is a pretty cool video, I think. I mean, not like my other videos aren't cool or the future videos won't be cool, but this is my first match in the KO 2.1 challenge. And actually, I will put a link up here to the live stream match that was played on June 14th, 2025. So you can watch that in its entirety with live commentary and the whole match in its entirety. Now, in a few seconds, I'm going to spoil the results of the match for the sake of this video because I want to kind of talk about how I played in this match and how I went through and what happened. And I want to refer to things without having to go, oh, by the way, if you didn't watch it, I don't want to spoil the results until the end and then I act all surprised that I won and stuff like that. I think that's fake. I think I'd rather do things more realistic. So that said, I am putting a counter on the screen for, we'll say, 10 seconds for you to stop this video and go watch that results, unless you want to be spoiled or unless you already know. And then I'll come back and I'll spoil it and we'll go on with this video. So counter starts now. All right, you've been warned. This is the spoiler. Spoiler alert, I won this match. I know people who have seen this live obviously know what happened. People who saw my post on Facebook could have probably figured out what happened, especially the fact that I am starting to post information soon about round 2, which will happen on July 2nd, 2025, Wednesday at 6 p.m. I actually took the day off work the next day in case this goes long, but let's get over to this match. Let's get this thing started. This video will be in 2 parts, or this match will be in 2 parts. This part is going to be 8-ball only. The next one's going to be 9-ball only. Like I said, spoiler alert, I won both sets. The format of it is a race to 5, 8-ball, race to 7, 9-ball, and then if they're tied one set apiece, it's a race to 6, 10-ball. And then if it's hill in that, it goes to a spot shot shootout. So far, he hasn't had a shootout in these tournaments yet. On his stream, he's only had a couple 10-ball matches. Most of them have gone 2 sets and out. So that's what happened to mine. I did get lucky. I didn't play my greatest. I didn't play my worst either. Definitely didn't play this bad of the how to play your B and C game and still win or lose, depending on which one I decide to put up there. But anyway, let's head over to the video and get things started. So we are lagging for the break here. Let's get my little dots off here. This table was super fast this day. Rails were very bouncy. I'm looking like I'm going to scratch here, but the cue ball slows down. Scratching on our leg is a foul, by the way, and you lose the leg. Also, we're talking about this. If you cross this side of the line, if I were to go on that side of that line, that is also a loss of leg. If I would go below this line, which is hard to do, but it's still possible, it's a loss of leg. And if you hit any part of the side rail at all, it is also a loss of leg. The more you know. So I won the break. We're starting with 8-ball. It is alternate break throughout this. So I break and then David breaks and then I break and then Dave breaks and then, well, you guys get the picture. But even between sets, so whoever wins the last game of the 8-ball set, spoiler alert, it's me, then I breaks to start the 9-ball set. Now I'm hoping here, what I'm doing is I'm watching on one monitor over here the YouTube video, and on this monitor I have my telestrator. I'm hoping this speed and the lag is okay. I tried it using a built-in browser source that OBS has, and it decided to play an ad because it doesn't actually log you in with your account. And I'm one of the few people on the planet who have YouTube Premium. More information on that at another date or not. But anyway, I'm breaking. See little mini poker chips under the rail to keep score up here. And we are off. I am breaking head ball because during my practice, that was what I was determining being the best break and the best results. Now, I will say there is also a little bit of a lag issue with this center camera. Dale Little Cheddar Lorenz, who is the owner of Outer Points Productions, is aware of it. He's working on getting it fixed. So there may be just a little bit of lag, but it shouldn't affect anything really in this stream. So let's get into the match here. Solids are a complete mess. I don't have a shot on them, and I have to take stripes, and I don't really want to jack up over the 14 on my first ball. So really the only shot I have is this 11. And then what I want to do is I want to try to draw kind of off the rail and out for the 14. I could maybe go down for the 9 and get that out of there, but I wanted to get the 14 to get these 3 that are on the rail here, because these are a problem. These 3 balls in a row there are going to be a problem. If I get the 12 out, the 13-10 combo isn't bad, depending on what. So I'm trying to, I want to play this here. I want to come out 2 rails and kind of hit something here and hopefully have a shot. It is kind of a hit and hope. It's early in the match. If there's a good time to do that, it's better now than on the hill, I guess. I'm glad that I took my time. It seemed like I got down in the shot really fast at first, and then I realized, wait, what am I doing? Take a little bit of time here. Now, unfortunately, I hit the 7, and I did not clip the 12. So I come down here, and I have the 9 ball. Now, after this rack, I have some cool stuff to say, maybe, or some things to say. But I'm looking at if I can get on the 9. Can I come up 1 rail above the 15 to be able to play the 12? Now, I did have a bunch of practice and a bunch of warm-up before this match. I had about an hour on just a standard diamond 7-foot table, and then I had maybe 20, 25 minutes on this table. This is a stream table. It's a diamond 4 1/4 inch pockets. It was really humid in there this day. This was Saturday, June 14th, 2025. And because it was so humid, the rails were super bouncy, and I had problems all match with the speed, and you'll see that. And that it's going to lead to some weird missed shots that I normally wouldn't miss, but I'm kind of blaming the fact that I didn't get great position, and I let that into my head instead of actually just missing shots. Although I did just outright miss some shots. So what I'm doing here is I'm looking at an angle. I need to get like in there to get on the 10 to cut it. It's not the greatest angle. I should have maybe looked at getting on the combination. And because I tried to go at it, I overdrew this thing, and now I'm not happy with this at all. It's first game jitters. I'm kind of getting these out. The pressure was different. I've never played on a live stream other than put a link to a couple streams that I've done on my channel here. And this was new to me. Everyone picked David to be the winner of this, or the favorite to win this whole tournament. Now, what I'm looking back at, I might have been able to go 1 rail into the back of the 13, but that's a really touchy shot. And I didn't want to play just a giveaway safety here. So instead, I tried to bank it, getting position on, knowing if I made the bank, I'd have the game won because it's an easy 13-8. But instead, against a player like Dave, and Dave it's like a 606, 607 Fargo, but he has almost 15,000 games in the system. So he's a very, very solid player. And like I said, people picked him to be the winner. I would say probably, I don't know this to be sure, but I would guess most of his games are on 7-foot tables, whereas mine, probably the other way around. Most of my games are not on 7-foot tables. So I'm expecting Dave to get out here. Everything's wide open. There's pockets for everything. Even the 1 goes past here. You can get easily, the 4 goes past the 7. So it's just a matter of his preference on how he's going to play this, and me being able to see how he plays the first game in this match. Almost missed that, almost scratched. That may or may not be a theme in this match. We'll see. But not in that pocket. This pocket's all safe from most of the scratches. I hope. Probably going to lead. It really doesn't matter for key ball here. I know a lot of people get caught up on what your key ball is. When the 8 ball is this close to the pocket, any 3 of these can be a key ball. You can very easily play a stop shot in the 4, or just drop back a little bit and then the 7 out for the key ball. He may take the 7 first here. This video is sponsored to you by the water from my fridge with ice cubes. Now, I don't think that's the speed he wanted. He wanted to be a lot closer to the 7 ball, but again, like I said, it doesn't really matter. He can stun out here. He can go top and go 3 rails around like this. Hitting the 13 might not have been great there because there was a chance the 13 could block him, but he's straight in on this, and I'm assuming he's going to win game one. Now, in this tournament, there are no concessions of games, and that is to keep the integrity of the game. Some people use it as a sharking technique. You're like, oh, it's yours, whatever. Yeah, well, I'm going to win anyway. But also, if people watching and they're watching pool for the first time on a stream, they may not understand why he didn't shoot the 8 ball because you can't hear the players. We are not mic'd up. There is no mic in the room. Actually, I'm not including the sound from the commentary on this. If you want to watch that, see the link that's in the description and the one I put up early. So Dave is up 1-0. He does alternate break, so he breaks. And we'll see where his break brings us. This is from Oshkosh, Wisconsin, the Varsity Club, which is the home pool hall to Margaret and Tyler Steyer. Ultimate Pool League is going to be starting there soon, and actually all around Wisconsin. Kind of excited about that. I don't know if I'm going to be playing in it, if it's going to be anywhere near close to me, but just a new neat thing that's coming. If you haven't seen the Ultimate Pool matches, look up Ultimate Pool USA on YouTube. There's some cool stuff out there. Looks like he's going to do second ball break. He's putting his hand on the table, which is a little bit interesting. He's a little bit further in than most people would break, but he gets the ball down. Everything is kind of open except for this 5-9. Oh, that's not where it is. Thanks, Dale, for the camera change. This 5-9, and for a lesser extent, these two, and then we're changing cameras all over the place. The 4 and the 7 are also an issue unless you take them now. But if you take them now, you have no way to really get the 5 ball out of there. So he's going to take the 15 and try to break the 9 out. And instead of doing that, he double kiss the 5 and put it back into the same spot, or maybe even a little worse. Now, Dave looks at this a long time, and he cannot. Based on he was talking a lot. We were kind of talking back and forth, not really banter, just kind of discussing the table and discussing things. He did not have a way to really make this. You could maybe spin around it, but it's a pretty good reach, and you have to kind of jack up a little bit. And then, do you really want to try a nervy shot like that on your second rack on the stream table? Granted, he's been on this more than I have. This is my first time on this table. This is not his first time, and. But what he does here is kind of surprising. Now, if we look at ways to get back on the 9, let's say he takes the 13 to the 11 here, there's really no ball that he can use to break the 9 out. The 14 could go here and bring it, but the 2 ball is blocking that. So he actually called this cross corner over here. Now, granted, if he makes it, he's probably out, almost definitely out, but he missed it and left kind of a weird table for me. As I was talking about before, these 2 balls are an issue. They don't go. The 2 and the 3 are kind of weird in the middle. I don't really like starting with the 5 because I didn't really have a shot after that. I did not want to just slow roll this to here to play the 1 and try to break out the 2 and 7. The 1 offers me a little bit of protection on the 8, not really a lot. So I decided to go after the 6 and I really have no plan on what to do. And I think because of that, it's going to lead to this. I'm putting a little bit of inside on it, so I kind of cut the angle off, but I don't know why. I don't know what I'm trying to do. And because of that, I underhit it. I decelerated my foreswing, backswing to foreswing transition, which you'll see is kind of a theme in this match. And because I did that, I missed. And I left him another open table. Now he's looking at different shots here. I would take the 9 all day. And if you can get enough right spin to go up and down this way, that's a shot to take. Otherwise, kind of go 2 and around, try to get above that 5. But he takes the 10 here, which I thought was really interesting. But granted, it's 8 ball. He could take the 11 if he wanted. He played a great shot on that to get perfect on the 11, to get to the 13, to the, I'm assuming his plan here is 11, 13, if he moves out of the way. 14 here to get on the 8 and then just go short side and play the 8 back up in this pocket up here. He came a little bit too far because now he has to bridge over the 14. But this should be doable. The problem is now is getting back on this 14, but I think he has enough angle that he can play around this way. And then he doesn't even have to worry about, if he played the 14 in this side, trying to get the cue ball over here or down for the 9, he can just kind of stop shot back, or, draw back, get on the 9, bring the cue ball around here, or even all the way around for the 8. He's actually not as jacked up as I thought, but he looks like he's trying to bring this back. Oh no, he did do what I said. Yeah, so now, and I don't know if you saw that. Let me go back over here. Watch the cue ball. Watch the tip of his cue on the cue ball. He fouled going down on the ball. Now, in your standard fun games, I'm going to let everyone take that, but he moved the cue ball right away, and I think that's the right way to play it in tournaments, and I would do the same thing. I would call that on myself all day long. It's taken me a little bit to get to the table because I was kind of just dumbfounded as to what happened. And I think we're talking back and forth about that. And I told him I'm usually good for doing that once a week or so, which I'm really not. I was just kind of making him feel better. As I said before, the 7 and the 4 are issues, so I want to address this right away. Get the 7 out of here and leave the cue ball over here for the 4. Just like that. Now from here, I got a little bit straight, so I didn't really want to get... I really wasn't worried about the angle on the 4 because I knew I could draw back. I'm just kind of looking at what angles I have. I'm going to draw straight back to the rail, and either the 3, the 2, or the 1, depending on which one I get best on, is what I'm going to take. A little fast on that backspin to 4 swing. One of the reasons I'm doing this video is obviously to give my views on it. And actually, I just remembered I forgot to talk after the rack, so I will do that. But another thing is to review my play to see what kind of mistakes I made. I know I've already watched this match back with all the live chat, and thank you everyone who watched, and I'll name some names in a minute. I'm coming after you with all the names that I'm naming for the names of stuff or something. But there are a number of things that I'll pick up every time I watch this. Not necessarily just missed shots, but just things I do. Fast backspin to 4 swing transition, playing shots too easy, playing shots too hard, playing the wrong shots, that kind of thing. That might come up. So here I'm looking at how to get from the 2 to the 1 to the 5, or the other way around. I think the 2 to the 1 to the 5 is the best way to go. And I don't think I want to hold this. One of my things I always say, especially on 7-foot diamond tables, don't try to hold anything. Like, moving the cue ball is not bad if you know what you're doing, and this one is just kind of absurd. I hit that one way too hard. And because of that, I'm on a weird angle here. Now I can't really tell how much of an angle I have, but I know I can go one rail this way with top and just a hair of inside. I'm talking quarter tip to get up past the 5. Then from here, basically just a stop shot. I basically want to replace the 5 with the cue ball, which means a stop shot plus like half a ball rolling forward. If I get a stop shot, that's fine. I bounce off the rail and get basically the same. I'm pretty happy with my out here. A 600 player like myself should be able to get out with ball in hand on an open table. And I do. It is 1-to-1. Now, there were a lot of people in the chat who were rooting for me, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. In fact, I'm going to call everyone out. I'm only going to use names if they had the names in the chat. Otherwise, I'll just use last names. Otherwise, I'll use the initial. First, I want to thank my wife, Tara, my daughter, Mandy. The two of them just made the chat really fun, and Dale really enjoyed both of them, and maybe getting a plate of baked goods in return for being so kind to them. We'll see what Mandy decides, but both of them were great. Tyler, Mandy's boyfriend, was in the airport and actually logged in for a little bit to watch the match. Matt K in Lake Geneva. Matt, really appreciate you stopping in. Matt R, who you've seen on this channel. In fact, if I have any cards left, I might have used all my cards up. I'll put a playlist of all my matches against Matt. He's the guy with the shiny bald head who I've been kind of mentoring and tutoring and coaching and beating up on for the last few years. John Cantone from Arizona actually was one of the guys that I shot with, or was the other guy that I shot with when I went to visit Drew Von Port. That was a really fun time, John. I really appreciate you in the chat. Taka from the Bonnie and Betty's leagues. Taka, I really appreciate you showing up in chat. Bridge showed up. Bridge I shot with in Michigan at a CSI tournament and at Wispa State this year. In fact, one of the guys I shot at State is the next guy I'm playing on July 2nd. And then Eric R., a new person that I met, and he's subscribed to the channel. Really appreciate Eric, you showing up. Harmon, I know you didn't show up in the chat, but you sent me a couple messages. I really appreciate that. But the coolest thing of all, I mean, not over my wife and daughter being in the chat, but Sam from Romines, who I played with. Actually, I don't know if we played any games together, Sam. But he is the Billiard Zone channel that comments on almost every one of my videos. Sam showed up and drove 2 hours and showed up at the Varsity Club to watch me live, and I had no idea. I was warming up on the stream table, and I hear a voice, and I'm like, that sounds familiar. And I look up, and sure enough, Sam is coming out of the lights and saying hi and everything. So Sam, really appreciate it. I think you helped me kind of center myself and focus and, whine here and there about shots I missed or shots I did well, and I really appreciate all the support. Anyone else that happened to watch that didn't comment, thank you for watching. And let's get back to the match here. All right, tied at 1-1. Be sure to like and subscribe and all that stuff. Hey, thanks, Dale. I didn't even have to use my little video to do that. That was on Dale's video, or the Outer Points Productions video. I'm sticking with the break from the same place because it worked so well. I've actually been experimenting back with my hand on the table. I got away from that because I've seen a lot of people break with their hand on the rail, but I think I get a better break with my hand on the table more in future videos. There I got a much better pop, and I made a ball, so I'm 2 for 2 making balls on the break. Let's analyze this mess of a rack. This almost looks like one of those bizarre shooting drills. Now, in the video, I remember Dale saying, the only shot on stripes that I have here is the 9-ball. It's a weird shot. It is this kind of funky scratch position. I've already decelerated on the shot on the backstroke to force swing a few times. I always do this when I do that. I don't know why. I would be jacked up a little bit because I'd have to kind of draw it back. It does go here clean. Yeah, thanks. It does go here clean. I have the full pocket. Or sorry, that's not even the right ball. It does go here clean. I have the full pocket. I do have to kind of worry about these being in my peripheral vision. So because of that, and because I didn't want to just sell the rack out, because if I miss this 9-ball, I think I'm done. I think the rack's over. There's plenty of shots to make, and it kind of clears one ball out of the way. I decided to take solids. The problem is this 3-ball is a giant problem, and a lesser extent is this 2-ball, and a little bit lesser extent is this 6-ball. So what I decided to do is take these 3 balls up table. I wanted to make sure I got on the 5. I'm going to play this around this way and then handle the balls down table. And I think what I can do is I can go like in line here to play the 6, and then I can get the 2 and hopefully use the 2 to break the 3 or the 6 to break the 3 or something to break the 3. Instead, I hit this entirely too hard. I was trying to leave for the 1 here, which I did, but I also broke out for the 2. I remember Dale giving me kind of the eyes over the glasses. What did you just do there, sir? Look. So I'm almost straight on the 2, and it is a problem ball because I do have to get somewhere in this area to play the 2 down here or back in this area to play the 2. So I'm looking, all I have to do is kind of drag the cue ball to maybe there for the 6 so I can play it up here and then kind of go into the 13 or go into the 3. Instead, I just dead stop shot this. I don't get any roll on it at all. It does not go here, and if it does, I only have that much of a pocket. The corners are 4 1/4. I'm assuming the sides are 4 3/4. It's usually how the tables work. So now I'm in hit and hope mode. I'm playing the 6 up here. I'm hoping to do this into the back of the 3 or into the 13 or into the 15 or not this. It would have been great if I got to clip the 13 on the way out, but I don't even know if that was possible. It would have been great if I could go past it and hit the 15. I think that's kind of what I was going at, but I really didn't have a plan, and that was the 3 was a problem ball the entire rack, and there's no way I should have done what I did. That said, I actually have a chance here to come down here and at least get a hit on the 3, or if I could play it super accurate, some magic way to get down here. Oh, I went 3 rails around. That's right. Unfortunately, I hit the 10. Actually, the angles there might have worked. And I have no shot here. I'm dead hooked. This is not a jump. I've been watching a number of the 499 under tournaments that are on this same channel, that the bigger field, that's 64 players. And guys, as soon as they get snooker, will just immediately hit the jump cue and almost never make it. And then every once in a while they'll make it, and you're like, oh, he's a really good jumper. And it's like, guys, just work on your kicking and kicking skills. So I'm calling it down here. I got a good hit on it. I kind of almost didn't really tie up anything, and I'm in trouble. This should be the big question for Dave: is this 9-ball go here clean? And if so, how to get on it. Because everything else has a pocket, and they kind of lead to each other. 14, 13, 10, 11, 15 maybe a question. The 11 could lead to the 8. The balls over here could lead to the 8. The 8 goes in the side, and it goes up here. And I'm looking at the very real possibility of just kind of giving away a game. I know a lot of people think that, oh, I made 6 balls, so I'm winning. No, I'm not. I'm hurting here. Dave could just play the 13 into the rail up here, leave the cue ball down here, and I'd be screwed. What is this? Okay. But he's gonna make some. I like going for the run out here, and if you get in trouble, you always have the 8 ball to save yourself. So let's say he gets on his second last ball and he's on a really bad angle, he could use that to save. He's gonna go for the 15 now. If he can run into the 9, I kind of like that. Instead, he ran into the 12. Does not have a shot in the 9. This doesn't. It looks like it might go up here. It does not. The 12 does go here. Well, not there. Yeah, 12 goes here. Dale's going to catch me on every one of his camera angles. It's like he knew his future self would be catching me on this. It's a great shot. The issue here is, what do you want to do here? Do you want to go for the run out? He's going to play the 9 on the side. Not sure I like this shot. From here, it doesn't look like it's a great. I keep looking over my other monitor to see if I can get another camera angle, but it's the same thing. It's just mirrored. If he plays the 11 here, he opens up my 3 ball because I don't think he can get in and out without hitting the 3. He kind of got weird by hitting that 12 off the 15. So he's calling this in the side. I don't know what his plan for the next shot is. I don't think he does either yet. Maybe go all the way over for the 10. Maybe come back for the 10. Maybe scratch. That was ugly. I think I liked playing that all the way down here and coming back here for the 10. Or just play it into the rail and leave the cue here for safe. That's a pretty good place to leave the cue ball. I can't really get in between here. Now, I want you to start counting. I'll tell you what to count for in a second. I'm gonna just drift right around here, play the 8 in the same side or same corner. But I kind of shot that really fast. I didn't really have a pause before the backswing. In fact, I'm gonna go look back at that. Okay, I did have a pause, but a really fast transition. And because of that, I went entirely too far. Now, this should be a shot I make, I don't know, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10 times, except for this one. So I want you to start counting missed money balls. I'll put a counter. 1. I will not leave that on. I can't leave this on and then write something else and just clear this without clearing this as well with this version of what I have. Now, the cool thing is that Dave really doesn't have a shot here other than a bank. So he's going to call the 11 cross corner. But drills it. Now here, I think he's going at the 9 ball. I almost like getting the 10 out first. But I suppose if you just draw this back a little bit, you can do the 9 and then the 10 in the corner, but he got right on top of this 13 ball. Now he has to jack up over the 10. And then try to get back on the 13. This is not really easy. He may want to go like one rail all the way up here. He got goofy on this. But if he can make it and hit the point, he should be good, because you don't really have to get a leave on the 8. You just have to make this 13 and not miss. Just like that. So he had a tough out because the 8 ball was blocking the pocket that almost every ball was pointing to. But he's going to get out here. He's going to do a good job at it. And it's going to be 2-1 Dave. And he's breaking. So, lesson learned there. First, figure out a plan for your problem ball earlier than I hope I get on it. Second, take your time on your touchy, that little draw shot around, like a stun draw around the 3, around the 8. Just take your time on that. Get straight in. The rails are bouncy, but I should have been used to it by this time. I had a good run out in the second game, gave away the third game. So we're going to count, let's count Dave's scratches in this side pocket versus me missing money balls. So far the count's 1 and 1. Maybe I'll put the counter up on the screen somewhere over this goofy picture of myself down here. So Dave looks like he's doing the same break. He is really far out for this second ball break. Most people are going to be right by the rail there, just enough to get the cue under it. Okay, he's moving it over a little bit. Eight ball started to go. It doesn't matter because it would not have counted. It would have spotted. He does make a stripe, but look at the likes of this. And I'm in my chair. You can see me over here. I am in this corner. So the booth is over here. I'm over here. Dave's kind of over here. I can't really see what is going on with these 3. Does the 1 go over here? Does the 10 go over here? Does the 10 probably doesn't go over there because of the 2? Dave's going to start out with solids here, and the way he played this, now watch this pattern, and we just talked about this on my last rack. What is this plan for the 1 right now? And this is what I was wondering when I was sitting there. He's playing the 7 here. The 13 is going to go into the 6 and maybe make a mess of this. Now, he did good to hit it hard enough to get that out of there, but the 13 came back off the really bouncy rail. Unfortunately, lined this up. Like if the 6 were out here, he might have a problem making this. But as it is, he basically just shoots this to make the 6. Should make the 4. Held the cue ball really nicely there. Can take the 3 or the 6. I like taking the 3 like he's doing here and just bouncing up back here. The problem is, again, this 1 ball's still here. He's been running around he took his time a lot of the first 2 racks, and now he's just running around crazy. And now he's finally pausing to go, oh crap, now what do I do with the 1 ball? I don't know if this is just the way he plays or if this is match pressure or what, but it just didn't seem right. And now he hooked himself completely behind the 2. There is no shot here. He can't see the 1. He might be able to see enough to clip this side of it. It's hard to tell. jump is really tough here because the natural tangent line is going to go right in that side pocket. So I think he's calling the kick right here. Going to go one rail into it. Yep, he's calling it right there. And we'll see what happens here. And Dave scratched in this side pocket 2. I had a missed money ball of 1. You'll sense there's maybe a theme going on. So now is the first chance that I really get to look at this table, or you, or on the overhead. And this, it doesn't look like the 1 goes, but this 10 ball definitely goes in the side. So what I want to do, I want to do 2 things in this, 3 things in this. I want to make the 10. I want to bump this 1 out somewhere so I can open the 8 ball up for later. And I want to make sure I get a shot. Now I could get a shot if the cue ball goes all the way up here. I could take this. I'm hopefully getting on the 9 and just kind of keeping it down in the line for the 9 ball. Goes off the 1. The cue ball should kind of go this way depending on how I hit it, depending on how I go into it. Yep, and that's good. I got the 1 ball way out, so now the 8 has this whole lane open to it. And now I'm just looking at the right way to play this pattern here. I like the 9, draw it back a little bit, 12, 13, 11, 14. 9, 12, 13, 11, 14. So I got the 9 to the 12. That's good enough. It isn't perfect, but it's fine. I could also just bring this to the middle of the table and take the 11 first and naturally come around for the 13. It's all personal preference. At this point, I wanted to try to get my arm still flowing. I have the nerves of the match going on. So I wanted to go all the way out for the 13. I kind of underhit it. But I'm close enough to the 1 that I don't think I want to try to bridge over the 1 and make this 11. I'm also not really even looking at it, so I'm just taking the 13. It goes with plenty of room past this corner pocket. It really, trust me. Somehow I managed to hit the ball on the way in and still make it. Now, if I would have missed, I would have been pretty safe here. But that wasn't the plan. I was never planning on missing. I was planning on taking the 13 and kind of drawing back out for the 11, and I underhit it so badly. That's what I did. So I made the 14, and now I have this almost the same shot I had in the 11 that I didn't like before. But natural position is just going to take me here and out. I can hit it not as hard as I want to, but I can hit just the center ball. And oh boy, what are you doing? Okay. Ideally, I wanted to hit that so it hit this well before the side pocket. I don't know what to say on that one. That one, it almost scratched. I mean, it was really not close to scratching, but it was close to getting down here where the 8-ball shot was tougher. Instead of hit the point, the outer point, as you will. And we are tied up at 2. That is my second win off of a that I broke and ran the set out. Yeah, that's what happened today. Ran the rack out off ball in hand off Dave's scratch in this side pocket. So we are at Dave's scratches 2, specifically in that side, but even just overall scratches. And Adam's missed money ball is 1. Now, pay attention to this. When you're playing 8-ball, where does the 8-ball get racked? This is not a trick question. When you're watching your opponent and they rack the 8-ball where it's not supposed to be racked, what should you do? This is also not a trick question. When you're commentating a match and you see your opponent or one of the players doesn't rack the 8-ball in the middle, what do you do? Now, granted, I understand why Dale wouldn't come out and stop this because he's commentating on this, but no one noticed this, including Sam, who said he watched this the morning after I played it and did not notice. I didn't notice. Dave didn't notice. Nobody in the booth noticed. It was just Dale. Nobody in the chat noticed. And here I get this, well, I'm on scratch number 1 in that side pocket. I don't think it matters because I made so many balls in the break and everything's wide open, but I don't know if I've done that before in something that mattered, like a tournament or even something on my own channel. It was just bizarre. I don't know what I was thinking, because it wasn't even like I had the 6 or the 4 or even the 2 that was kind of like the 8 ball in the middle. I had the 5 ball. That doesn't look anything like it. This is orange and that's not orange. What rhymes with orange? No, it doesn't. So we're looking at what Dave's going to do here. Personally, I would take solids. I would start with the 5 and go to the 6 and get those 2 out of the way. And then you have the 4, 2, 3, 8. I understand what he's doing here. He's going to go for stripes because there's less things to navigate around, because there's 2 solids that are down. So there's only 5 solids on the table. It's easier to navigate around them. That's fine. The 11's kind of an issue. 13 is less of an issue. I get it. I guess I want to do the simplest way possible. And there is a chance that the 5 doesn't go in either corner. I think it goes past both. In which case you can play it, maybe bridge a little bit over the 3, play it here, follow the cue ball, play the 6 on the side. You can play it down here with a little bit of stun, bring it over here, play the 6 on the side. I guess the 2 to the 3 could be tricky. But by the time these 2 are out of the way, there's much more room for it. He is thinking a long time, so I'm sure he's thinking about solids here. It just looks to me like he's just staring at the 14 ball. But I know he's looking at other things. I mean, he's walking around the table, so I know he's not a 607 or 608 with 14,000 games or almost 15,000. He's not that for just because he got lucky. This I found interesting though. I would have, if I go for stripes, I would have taken that 14 and then the 15 out first. But that's just me. Like I said though, the 11 was kind of an issue, and getting a ball onto the 11 is a good plan. Now he can play either the 14 or the 15. I believe both go. He's getting down on this right away, so this 14 has to go, yeah. Which leads me to believe the 5 went in both too. I will go 2 rails out and directly towards this 10 ball, but not that close to it, obviously. He hit it okay. It's a little weird because he would have wanted to be more on this line, because now getting to the 13 is a little tougher. So I think he's actually is he taking the 12 here? Yeah, he's taking the 12 ball here so he doesn't try to, because if you take the 10, you're going right into this 4 to try to come out. He's taking the 12. He's coming straight out. Now this should be stop back to the center of the table and 8 ball. Should be stop shot. I consider that a stop shot. Just 1 rail straight across. No need to do anything fancy with this. And 8 in the side. You can play the 8 from almost anywhere. Instead, he puts a little right on it and really, really, really bouncy rails. Dave scratching this side 3. Adam missed money ball 1. I will catch up. Spoiler alert. It may not be in this video, though. It may be in the 9 ball video. So stay tuned to that. I probably will record that right after this one, but I won't post it the same day. I'll wait a couple days. So I'm just putting the cue ball on most of the times when I get ball in hand, I put the cue ball on the table and get it out of my head. But I kind of put that towards the 6. This pattern should be pretty straightforward. I want to do as many stop shots as I can. So I'm 6, 5, 3, 4, 2. Looks like a good pattern. I went a little bit ahead. If I can still hold this for the 4, it's fine. If I have too much angle, I don't mind going up here for the 2. I'm playing low on the cue ball, so I'm going to bring it back for the 4. And I have just enough angle. I either wanted to be like over here or where I am, so that I can either play 1 rail off or straight down to the 2, or what I'm going to do here is just kind of float I don't even know if I'm going to hit the other rail, or you know what? I'm going forward because I have enough angle. So I'm going to go off this bottom rail and up. The reason you do that is it's less easy to get straight in, or harder to get straight in if you come off 2 rails. And I know I'm chuckling to myself here on video because I landed straight in. Now my plan here is to come 1 rail and out. Oh, here we are. What are you looking at, Dale? My plan here is to come 1 rail and out for the 8 in the side. But I just saw Dave completely scratch on a shot that should have been 1 rail and out. So I think I decelerated and I underhit that. I did not want to play this for this pocket. I wanted the cue ball out here for the side. Much easier shot, but this still works. I should be making this every time. So I think I am up 3-2 now, and I think all 3, in fact, I'm positive all 3 wins have been runouts off ball in hand from Dave scratching in this side. Actually, one of them was this foul with the cue ball. He is getting a little bit angry, and so Dale's nickname is Little Cheddar. He's from Wisconsin. He's 5 foot something. He's short. He got the nickname probably when he was a little kid. Maybe his dad's name was Big Cheddar, but he comes out with a stuffed plush cheddar and stuffs it in the side pocket so that Dave wouldn't scratch anymore. I got a kick out of that. I don't know if Dave took it as, I know these guys have known each other for many, many years. So this isn't something where it's just a random tournament director messing with a random person. That's kind of what the pool community is. It's a lot of people know each other. We can joke with each other. We can have fun. So I said I was going to fast forward the racks, but when that came out, in fact, maybe I won't fast forward the racks anymore because stuff seemed to happen. Dave's breaking from the same spot and scratches again. So we have 3 scratches on the side, 1 scratch down there. I'm only going to count the ones on the side because he was convinced when we talked after the game that was what costed him this little match, but the set. So I'm looking at this, and like I said, when I take ball in hand, a lot of times I put the ball down and just try to figure things out. Stripes are okay, but the 15 is an issue. And I think if you want to take stripes, you got to play the 1-9, have the 1 come up here so that the 8 is still open for a shot. What I'm looking at, though, is if I take solids, the only real issue is this 1 ball. So if I can play the 3 and open up the 1 without getting into the 8 ball, I should be okay, and I should come out with a shot, either on the 4 or the 5. So I'm playing this with like just a middle ball, maybe a touch of right. And I did exactly what I was planning. I moved the 1. The 1 does go past this 9. It's not bothered by the 8. The 1 can lead to the 8. And I'm in a pretty good spot here, I think. The problem is, this is a kind of a touchy shot because I need to hit a little bit harder so I can come out like 2 rails maybe up for the 4. And I don't take enough time on it. And I just chunk it right into the rail, and I break out the only problem ball that he had there. I was going to talk a little bit more about stripes. This combo goes. So with ball in hand, there would have been an easy way to maybe play the 1, make the 9, the 1 sits up here, cue ball comes out, and then plays something into this combo. As it is, he's calling this 11 ball. I think he's hitting the 12 first, or he's massing, or you know what? He's playing the 13, 14, 11 here. And he has to masse around the 7 ball to do it. So he really actually doesn't have a straight in shot here. I kind of like caroming off the 12 into here, but the 12, it needs to clear this. I don't think it can. So I think he's actually going to masse, like a half swerve masse, whatever you want to call it, 13, 14, 11. And he did that well, except for he kind of goofed up this 14-9 ball here. Now, what do you think? Leave me a comment down below. Does the 14 go in past the 9 ball? And we're going to see a couple camera angles here in the next couple shots. It looks to me like it definitely goes, if not going off the rail, into the back of the 9 and in. Now there, I think he tried to, well, now it's a problem. There, in fact, now look at it. There, I think he was trying to go into the 14 to break those out. Instead, he made the 1 on the 9 worse. And he's kind of in a problem area here. I don't know. I would not want to make the 14 past the 9 because what I want to save it for is getting out like here, playing the 14 off the rail, off the back of the 9. The 9 should stop on this 1 and the 1 should clear out. And he should have a shot on the 9. And if the 8 is still an issue, he should be able to bounce the 1 out after the 9. He's going to play the 12 on the side here. And this is a tough shot because you kind of got to hope the 15 goes somewhere helpful. He should have a shot on this 10 after this, but he should definitely have the 14 as well. So he definitely has a 15, but tell me now, look at these 3. Is this not a fairly straightforward shot to play the 14 off the rail, off the back of the 9? The 14 goes in, the 1 clears out. I don't think it's going to go that high. It's going to go here, but the 9's going to go in. It's going to clear out the 9, and the 9's going to be open. And he's looking at this. And obviously, he can't make it now because of the 10's in the way. But I think that's the shot to go for. I think you play 15, come around here, play the 10, and then play this 14 off. Plan on leaving. Yeah, I don't really know what he's looking at. Looking at the 10 into the 1, which kind of leaves the 14 in limbo. The reason I'm questioning all this is because you'll see in a minute here. It doesn't really come up, I think, the way he wanted it. But it's weird how one rack he'll go around just firing balls in with no real thought to it. And this now he's spending a lot of time on where to me it looks straightforward. So I want to know, let me know in the comments what I'm missing. Like, is the 14 going to hit the point and do something weird? Or can he not make the 14 slide it off the back of the rail, off the 9? Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Mention it's in rack number 6. So I think he tried to go into these. I think he tried to go into the 1 off that shot. And now he's on the wrong side of being able to play the shot that I was talking about, because you want to kind of even middle of the table's okay, but you kind of want it to be up here. And that's why I was saying 15, come around here for the 10 and just float the cue ball over there for this shot. It's in a very, very weird spot now, where if you take the 14, it goes off the 9, it goes in, and the 14 goes in, the 1 bounces out maybe. Can you get from the 9 to the 10 back to the 8? Will the 1 be in the way this way? Yeah, we're looking at this a little bit closer. This is kind of a weird camera angle for this shot. I think we need one like over here. Like that. And I was sitting in my chair, and I only have the one angle of my chair, obviously, but I was really confused as to what was taking so long. So let me know if I'm missing anything. It looked more straightforward than it is to me. So he's banking the 10 here and basically leaving the cue ball where it is. And this is one way to, this is a good way to get rid of the 10 if you can make it. But he was still on the wrong side of it. He floated it this way instead of being out here. So I have a really cool shot coming up, and I see it right now. What I'd like to do is I'd like to get about here. I'm going to play the 5, obviously, and because I need to break these 2 out. The 2, I think both of them go on the side, but I want to play the 2 first because I don't want to play the 6. Like if I get here, I don't want to play the 6 and then go into the 2 and maybe not have a great shot. I also need to deal with this 1 ball. And maybe that's why Dave banked it, because he didn't think he had to worry about what happened there. So I'm just going to draw this back just a ball or 2. And that's good. Now on the rail, which is not great, but I have kind of a really cool shot here. This goes almost as planned. I'm looking at the angle on if I play the 2 in the side with just like a middle left and almost a stun, hitting a little bit down on the ball. So almost a masse, but not really masse, if I can break this cluster out. So I called the 2 in the side, jacked up a little bit so I get more on the middle of the cue ball. And just all I needed to do was make the 14 out on golden. Because I didn't need to keep the 1 to get on the 8. I could have played the 1 and gotten out here and played these 2 and come back. But because I didn't make the 1, now I'm in trouble because I can't go after this 6 and 7 and try to break it out after that because there's too many variables. So what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to play the 1 into the 14 and go weld it to the back of the 9. If I leave the cue ball, whatever, in any way that I don't leave him a shot that's straight in. The 14 will be down. He won't be able to get on the 10, and that's exactly what I'm looking at. This is going to be a little bit of upper left. But again, I don't have the speed of the rails down and actually underhit it to leave him a shot on the 9. It's good that the 1 didn't go in, but he's going to shoot the 9 here. But if the cue ball was like here, assuming that it wasn't pointed straight into the pocket or he couldn't throw it, even here, assuming that it didn't go in the side. Now, I believe we're having Dale come out to watch this hit because it is a pretty close, and he can't really necessarily go 45 degrees at it. He has to go a little bit closer, but he also has to watch out for the cue ball coming off the rail and hitting the tip of his cue. So Dale's going to come out here and watch this to get the best angle at it. He is jacking up a little bit, I think. It's hard to tell. Yeah, he hit it perfect, except he didn't make the ball. But look where he left me. Almost snookered me right behind the 10. I don't know if that was his plan. I don't think it was. I think he was going after the make more. But I should have an easy 7-1. All I got to do is play for the 7 in this pocket, and it'll go. And then I just leave. I want to follow the cue ball up here somewhere to play the 6. And then the 7 should hopefully not get caught in the 8. It goes somewhere that I can get a leave on it. And I didn't feel comfortable getting down on the shot right away, so I got back up. That's fine. I've seen a lot of people say, oh, as soon as I see you do that, I knew you were uncomfortable. It's like, no, I'm just not on the line of the shot. But maybe I should have gotten up again because I way underhit this, and I missed it by just the shortest of margins. I don't know what my plan was with that kind of shot. I would have rather done just a not really a stun follow, but just a center ball hit and just bring the cue ball up here. But as it is, Dave has 2 very, very tough shots here. Not only to make, but to get back in this area to get on the 8. Now the shots are there. I think just a center ball, probably top to swerve it off a little bit and come over here for the 10. It's a hell of a cut, but a player like this should be able to make this a lot of the times, and he nails it. He actually goes off both rails, actually off 3 rails. I remember at some point when the ball was over here, he was like, "No!" And I'm like, "No, I think it's good." And now he's just going to 2 rails out of this over to here, but he has to clear the 7, which doesn't look like he's going to do. And actually got above the 7 into the 8. Now here's my one, I think, etiquette mistake. He is directly on my line of sight. Actually, I kind of get up to watch that you can see me in the background. He can't see me. Right about now, I said, "Oh, nice shot." And I didn't see it hit the second rail and miss. And I apologize to him for that because I get people are trying to be nice, but saying nice shot after every time somebody makes a decent shot is not great pool etiquette. Now here, what I want to do is I want to make the 7, and I want to just draw back like here so I can play the 2 or play the 6. Instead, I just kind of didn't do that. And then for some reason, I don't even look at the 7 here. I just take, I think Mark Wilson talks about this, and like you punish yourself because you didn't get on your next shot, but you take your next shot anyway because that's what you were planning on. And I missed this by a mile. And it looks like it kind of gets in the way of this shot. And obviously I didn't miss that on purpose to try to leave him safe or anything like that. Yeah, he has about a half ball snooker, but this should be a fairly easy Mass A rail first shot. It is pretty deep in the pocket. But anyway, about the etiquette thing, I did apologize. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. You're kind of blocking my view, and I thought it went in. So I said it before I saw the ball go in, and he was cool with it. It's not a big deal. It wasn't like I was saying it to try to shark him. Like, and I don't think anyone who says nice shot really tries to shark their opponent. But wait until the rack is over to say it. Wait until the final ball goes down before you say it, unless it's a really tremendous shot. But here, all he has to do is kind of spin around this 6. I don't even think he really has to Mass A it. Yep. It's kind of, you hit kind of down on the ball. I guess technically that's like a semi-Mass A, half Mass A, whatever you want to call it. But it's not like Florian, hitting the ball straight down Mass A. So we are tied. It is 3-3 in a race to 5. I am up to rack and break. All right, I'm looking to break from the same spot. There is Dale Little Cheddar in the lower left, and his commentator was not there. Her co-commentator is not there. Now I get the best break that maybe not the best break. That was not very good. I was thinking of another break. In fact, I was thinking of the last break where I scratched. I did make a ball. Cue ball had some weird topspin on it. I kind of hate everything here. Solids are good. The issue is the 3 and 6. Now the 3 does go from here. The 6 does not go past the 3, I don't think. So I have to find a way to get the 3 out with also being able to get back on the 6, which is not very easy because anyway the 3 goes out, I kind of have to trick the cue ball into going there. If I take stripes, I don't really have a shot. I can't get to the 11 to cut it. The 9-11 combo is suicide. The 9 up here is tough. So I'm going for the 2 ball, and I'm going to come around to something. Now my plan was to just, if I shoot this line between the 8 and 12, I'll get a shot. But I didn't have a specific point in mind, and therefore didn't really know what I was shooting next. And because of that, I hit the 12. My plan was probably going to get the 1, but I don't think I have it here. Yep. And it was close enough to get down on the shot, and then I realized I didn't have it. Cutting the 5 is bad, so I just, all right, forget it. I'm taking the 3, and I didn't put any thought into this at all. Just fire away, and now I'm stuck. And I don't have anything to shoot at. I don't have any way to really play safety. I cannot get past this 8 ball inside pocket if I want to play off this side, the bottom side of this 6, and try to go up table, because it's really cool safety to be back here, but I can't get there. I don't know if I could Z it over there, but that's, what are we talking about, 2% chance of getting safe? So I basically call the 5 ball just in case something weird happens, and I'm trying to put low Mass A, low right on this to play this over here and down, try to get it below the, instead I just hit it like a complete idiot, almost make the 8 and leave Dave I leave him the game. His only real issue is the 9 ball right now, and I think as long as you get on the 12, the 9 goes past, once the 11's gone, the 9 goes on this side. Yeah, definitely. I would have taken the 11 here just to get it, just to clear it out for the 9, but this is fine. But he does this, and he gets way behind everything, and now he only has the 14 to shoot at. And he kind of has to hold position again. He can't get where, in a natural position is going to be where he is right now, and he can't get there. He can, but he doesn't want to. He wants to be here if he can, and I don't know if he can. He has to slow roll this in or float it in or do something. And he was trying to hold it. And what do I say about holding shots on 7-foot tables? Never hold a shot on a 7-foot table. A diamond, I should say. Valleys are with like AstroTurf cloth, that's a different story. But these diamonds, especially with the bouncy rails, you can't be holding stuff like that because it's not gonna let you. My only shot here is a 5. And I have to come out for the 1. But I also have the 6. So my plan is to come out right about here, and if I have the 1, great. If I don't, I play the 6. That's a pretty good lollipop I drew on the table. So now I'm going to play the 1, but I want to leave myself a way to get out here easily. And now I have either the 4 or the 6. Now this is funny because when I was watching this the other morning, I put it on the TV with the live chat on the side so I could see the chat as it came in. It seems like the 4, 6, 7 is the pattern. But then I looked at it and thought the 6 to the 7, if that's going to be harder, I should do that now while I still have a chance. But when I was playing this, I told my wife, I'm like, I don't think I like this shot. And then right away, Dale's like, I really like what he did here. So I guess this was the shot. Because now I can play the 7, I have an easy shot in the 4, and then the 8 is right there with natural position. I don't have to try to get from the 4 to the 7 and maybe get goofy on it, or from the 6 to the 7 with no way to get to the 8. Because if I land here, I can still cut this and maybe hold for the 4. If I land short, I can play the 4. So I'm good here. Just bounce this 1 rail and out. And my plan all along, I remember Dale saying that he was surprised where I'm playing the 8 ball. My plan all along is to bring the cue ball out to here. As long as I'm to the other side of these 3 stripes. So really anywhere in this giant position window area, anywhere in the snowman is going to be good. Now the snowman moved. This does look like it goes in the corner, but remember, 4 1/4 inch pockets. I've already rattled 1 ball in the corner. Down here earlier in the match. So the 11 makes this side pocket really big. Plus I can just play center ball and just kind of move the cue ball all the way down to the rail in the unlikely event that I miss. But I didn't, and I'm on the hill. It's 4-3. Again in a race to 5. Dave is breaking to stay alive in this thing. All right, this will be Dave's last break in the 8 ball set. If he wins this rack, then I get the last break, hill. He's sticking with the same break. It's been working okay for him. And here he makes a ball. He makes 2 balls. He makes 2 stripes. The 8 and 11 are a mess. I don't know that the 11 goes past here. I don't think it does. The 10 and 1 are a mess. He does not have a shot on stripes right now. Unless he can play the 12. But if he can play the 12, he kind of needs the 12 to break out the 11. Okay, I remember okay, so he's going to, this is a better camera. He's going to break out the 8. What he really wanted to do is he wanted to break out the 11, because having the 11 out here with the 8 here is much better than what it is right now. And here he has to go into the 110 and break that out, but he was so focused on doing that he missed the 15 ball. And now look at this. All 4 of these go to this pocket. None of them except for, the 2 ball goes down here, but they only go there. And the 5 is a mess. So I'm to the point now in this match where I'm feeling better. The pressure isn't really on. I'm not talking about pressure like nerves, like shaky arms or anything weird like that. It was just a weird, maybe lack of confidence. I decide I'm going to fire this 3 ball in and try to warp draw and break out this 5, because as long as I don't hit the 15 full, I'm going to have a shot on one of these 3 balls. Watch the 6 ball here. So I did bump the 6 out of the way, and I did say, hey, I bumped the 6 out of the way. Do you want me to move it? And I don't think he even noticed. He wasn't even paying attention. He was on his phone. He was kind of all over the place. He was in his own head this match for sure. But it turns out, he told me just to leave the 6 there. It turns out this 6 is in the perfect spot right now. It was a ball or 2 over, in which case it would have more straight in. I don't think I would have had to wait to get on the 1. But now with like upper left, kind of a lot of left, I can go into the 10 and get that out of the way, almost scratched, but not, and get the 1. And now I'm on my way to being able to get out here. this 15, this 5, it looks like it goes here, and it looks like I can maybe cheat the pocket a little bit to do it. I'm also thinking, if I can't get that angle, what else do I do? I would have to come up here, here, and here maybe, or it's a kind of a tough angle to get on. So I decided just to draw it. I'm trying to draw one rail into the 5, and I missed it. So now I'm in trouble. I don't have a shot. I do know that the 15 does not go. You can't make it here. It can't make it anywhere. Unless you're right here and the roller ball it goes here. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at what happens if I play the 7 into the 11 and play safe. Because the 7 should stay about where it is. The 11 should go off the 4 and head down this way. And if I bring the cue ball back down here, it might be relatively safe. I call the 4 on the side anyway, just to be safe, just to be, you kind of be almost like one of those 10-ball calls where you just go, oh, this might go there, so I'll just call it. Not intending on making it at all. But I need to hit a rail, so I make sure the cue ball hits the rail. Almost got welded on this 2-ball, which would have been a fantastic shot because there's no way he can hit a ball. He'll have to kick at it. As it is, I think he has the 13. But he's in trouble because his 15 does not go, and he needs to get basically where my 4-ball is to be able to break the 15 out. This 13 also could be a scratch. He could hit the top of the 10 and scratch over here. There's a lot to be thinking about in this shot. I think he just plays safe though. But what he didn't want to do is he didn't want to double kiss it. He wanted the 10 to come up, and he wanted the cue ball to kind of be behind the 13. And I don't have anything here. I have to hit the 4, obviously. I could, again, like the last track, I don't think I can hit this side of the 4 and go this way and over. Plus the 11 is kind of out. So I look at where the cue ball is going to go, make sure it doesn't scratch, make sure it's not going to clip the 8 or clip the 11 or anything weird. I just call the 4 up in this corner. I just go at it. A little bit of right English, center ball. Did hit the 11. I didn't really plan on that. But now I look at this 5, and now that I'm much closer to it, I called Dale out to make sure we get a good hit, because if I hit the 15 at all, the 5, it'll be a foul. Because I don't think there's a way to hit the 5, make it, and hit the 15 without hitting the 15 first. So Dale's looking at it. He's getting his camera. You can't really see it. Now he has his camera slow motion. I remember him saying, okay, whenever you're ready. And I'll say, well, I was waiting for you to be ready. He's like, I'm ready. And then I say, well, I'm not ready. And I'm playing this just with a little bit of low and right to kind of just throw the ball a little bit, have it spin off the rail and in, and perfect. Doesn't hit the 15 at all. Dale's like another wasted referee attempt. Dale is the referee for these matches, but only if we say and we call him out. So if we don't call him, if I didn't call him out there and I hit the 15 and Dave didn't see it, I would call a foul on myself, but I could technically not say anything. I'm not like that. I will call fouls on myself, just like Dave did with when he tapped the cue ball with his cue tip in the first or second game or whatever that was. Here I'm just looking at what angle I need on the 4, or sorry, the 4 on the 7. To be getting on the 2 to come this way for the 8. I do not want to try to hold it for the 8 down here, even though it does go. I don't want to try to hold off these bouncy rails. So I'm going to drop back a little bit. I said a little bit. And that's okay as long as I'm planning on going 1 rail, 2 rails, and up, and having it stop in this general area. I don't want to overrun it. I also don't want to underrun it and just leave it sitting on the rail. I think what I did is I tried to hold it, which is what's the number 1 rule, and instead of holding it, I just dunked it right down on the rail, and no amount of hand waving can get that off the rail. And this is not an easy shot. I'm on the rail. It is just a little slight cut. I can't hit the 15. I can't really hit the rail going in. I can't put any stroke on it because I'm so close to the rail here. I just have to smooth this in, and for a lot of pool players, ask them what their most hated stroke is. It's this just smooth, slow roll, hit the ball straight kind of shot. These are extremely difficult. and I just hit into the rail, not even close. So it is Dave scratching the side pocket 3. Adam missed money balls 2. Dave kind of has a 15, but kind of not. And it makes sense why he's playing the 13 here. He could put a better stroke on it. The natural angle of the cue ball is going to kind of come around here. And then he has options. If he misses, maybe he'll get safe. Maybe he can just come one rail up towards the 15. What I don't like is I don't like jacking up on this and trying to hold for the 10, even though it's a shot I've done many, many, many times. In this situation in the match, I just didn't think that was the greatest thing. Now, funny thing here, I did tell Sam right before we started, don't be offended if I'm overly quiet or focused or seem mean. I'm not meaning to be mean. I'm just, or rude. I'm just focused. And as I get up, Sam's like, it's the same shot. And I'm like, why would you say that? But it is. It's the same shot, even maybe a little worse, because now I have a chance to follow it in if I hit it wrong. But I don't. I hit center pocket, and I win the 8-ball set 5-3. And that is the first part of this match, part 1, 8-ball. Again, I took it 5-3. There is a 9-ball set to come. There is not a 10-ball set. Sorry, I already spoiled it early on. But anyway, I'm going to take a quick break myself here and then come back to recording the next video, which won't make any sense because it'll be a couple days apart when I post it. But let me know what you think. Let me know how you think I shot. Walking away from this, wasn't pleased with how I shot, but watching it back a couple times now, it's pretty on par. Got the cue ball speed got away from me a number of times. Played the bouncy rails wrong a number of times. The scratch versus money ball count is 3-2, Dave, to me. So we'll keep that in mind for the next video. But anyway, leave me a comment. Let me know how you thought I did. Let me know if you were watching and you didn't say anything in the chat, because I'd really appreciate knowing. And, do the normal YouTube stuff, like and comment and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. And until the next video, look forward to 9-ball part 2. We'll see you soon.